Hello, I'm Miss York and I'm going to take you on a short tour of P3. This is our cloakroom area. As you can see, the children have 2 pegs each and a cubby hole underneath the bench. It's really important that they bring a bag and a coat to school every day. This being Scotland, the chances are it's going to rain. And they need a bag to carry things like their packed lunch and their snack in and their water bottles. Before COVID-19, water bottles were kept in a tray on one of the work surfaces in the classroom. However, we can't do that now because of the risk of cross-contamination, so the children need a bag for their water bottle to be kept in. They're allowed to go and get a drink from their bag at any time, provided they ask permission. The cubby holes underneath are useful for if the children are coming to school in wellies, for example, and they need to change their shoes. You can see there are gym bags hanging on the pegs. It's really helpful if your child has a gym bag to keep their gym stuff all together, but if not, they can bring their PE kit in their school bag. Over here we have the Lego and our basic maths facts games. Here are the children's trays where they're allowed to keep their snacks, stuff that they'll need for learning, so they each have a mini whiteboard and a whiteboard pen and a ruler and various other bits and pieces, so they can keep their stuff in there. If they make pictures that they want to take home at the end of the day or whatever, then I ask them to put them in their tray to keep them safe. Up above the trays is a white basket where we put our packed lunches, and the blue trays are for returning the reading books. You can see that the children did an autumn art activity earlier this week with Miss Cook, which they very much enjoyed, and she's made a lovely display. Over here we have our What Do I Do Now wall, so the children know that when they finish the task that they've been given, they come and check the wall to see what they need to be doing. So they have to check the corrections tray to see if they've got any corrections, do a What Do I Do Now task. There's a selection of 6 different tasks. Then they go to the activity table, and if that's free, they do an activity. They tidy their own tray if it needs tidying, and then they can go and play with the play provision in the classroom. These are the desks and tables. As you can see, they've been set out in a kind of U shape. There's space at the front for them to sit on the carpet in small groups for teaching or in a larger group for a class story. We've got our smart board there, which is very useful, an interactive whiteboard. So as well as drawing and writing on it, we can watch films, we can play educational games, and we can do all kinds of things, and the children really enjoy using it. Underneath the smart board, we've got our visual timetable and also our calendar. So we take turns each day in working out what day it is, what date, what the weather's like, and if it's somebody's birthday, we put their name there and give them a little clap and ask them what they got for their birthday. And underneath are the shelves where the learning resources for that day are kept, so the children know where to get the stuff that they need. Over here we have maths resources underneath the shelf, so tens, ones and hundreds. There's a writing and drawing tray there. So paper for the children to write on and spare scissors, stencils, rubbers and sharpeners and so on. This is an example of our talk for writing. We use a flip chart to construct a story all together using a combination of words and pictures, and we learn it by heart, we practice it every day, and because the children have helped create it, they really feel they have a part in it. And then that helps them to actually write the story. So it's a really good way of helping to teach them to write. Up here is our class charter. In P3 and then we've got all the things that we agreed as a class to do with the school values of effort, kindness and respect. So the children came up with their own ideas, which they drew. And then I was able to scan some of their pictures in and print them out in colour and put them up, so that the children feel real ownership of the agreement that we've made about the school values. Over here we have our sink for washing hands if necessary. We've got our lunch coloured posters. So the children, depending what they're having each day, if they're having a packed lunch, that stays on, their name stays on the white sheet. If they're having a school sandwich, their name goes on the red one. If they're having the vegetarian option, it goes on the blue. And if they're having the meat option, it goes on the yellow. That helps the children to remember what they're supposed to be having for lunch, and they put their own names on the right colours, and it gives them some sense of responsibility and ownership. Over here we have the marking tray where the children put their completed work, the corrections tray they know to go and look in that if they've got corrections, and the home learning tray. Home learning is shared once a week on a Thursday after lunch. We had to do it on a Friday this week, unfortunately, but the children still enjoyed it. It was great. And up here we've got a poster for our building resilience. We're halfway through completing it, so we're thinking about the 4 best things about various things. And again, the children very much enjoy that, and they come up with the ideas and then we vote on them. So it's a very democratic process. Over in this part of the classroom, we've got our role play area. So this term, it's a post office, which the children absolutely love, and I had great fun setting it up. So they spend a lot of time pretending to be posties, developing their cooperation skills, thinking about money, about weight, about reading and writing. There's an awful lot of learning goes on in this corner. We've got our construction area, so we've got work boxes, helmets, a 3 Little Pigs construction site. So do not use straw, do not use wood, please use bricks. Lots of words to do with construction. And in the drawers, we've got tools for them so they can actually screw real screws into wood. The screws and nuts and bolts are there, and the wood is kept underneath. They have a great time with this. They also really love this set of construction toys, and they have a great time with that. That's very popular in the classroom. Over here is our reading corner. It's looking very neat. Doesn't always look this neat, but the children are very good about tidying it. So they can choose a book from there, and up to 2 people are allowed to sit on the comfy cushions. And if that's full, then the children can take their books to their place. Here is our activity table. At the moment, we're concentrating on map making because that's part of our social studies learning. So the children look at the instructions here, and they use the resources to make a map. They use the felt pieces, so there are pieces that represent houses, rivers, trees and roads. They create a map of their own, and then they draw a picture of it so that I can see what they've done. And again, they really enjoy that. Underneath the shelves we have all our toys and games. Particularly popular ones are the toy farm with the animals and the pegs for making patterns. They love those, and also building blocks and so on. You can see that we have 2 computers set up in the classroom, and we also have a listening centre. We will quite shortly be looking at how to use that. So I haven't shown the children how to use it yet, but I will soon. I hope you've enjoyed our tour of P3. It's a lovely classroom. It's really bright and cheerful, and the children are very settled. And if you have any questions, then please feel free to get in touch at any time. Thank you.